on NBA 2K TV. It's a star-packed episode with Dwayne Wade, Offset,
The whole thing is I'm the best.
Jesus and Mero.
So then you guys had a script, though. We had a script.
And we threw it over our shoulder and said, hey!
Plus, welcome to this week's episode of NBA 2K TV. NBA 2K is passionate about capturing the culture within the basketball community. The music, the fashion, the entire world of basketball lives within the game. So a few weeks ago, we brought together some of the biggest influencers within that culture, including NBA 2K20 Legend Edition cover athlete Dwayne Wade. Here's what happened. Rodney, who do you think is the best 2K player on this panel?
I play with all of them. I gotta probably leave
Hold on. Cap.
I did.
Cap. I'm about to stop the cap. So we played to really play 2 quarters. First quarter, he had me beat by 8, but he supposed to be
Right,
2K.
not 8.
You know what I'm saying? So second quarter, we had to move on, but I took the lead. Don't cap now. I took the lead. The whole thing is I'm the best.
Can you talk about how the culture has been influenced by NBA 2K?
The game has changed so much in just the way that you play it. It used to be about quick game, 5-on-5, the God mode, and now it's really become about playing as yourself with my career and all the iterations with that, with the park and the neighborhood and all that stuff. But really what we did is create the opportunity to create brands as yourself.
You take the love of
Well, more bad news. The NBA is going to have to be without one of its premier shooters for the foreseeable future as Steph Curry goes down with a serious injury.
One of? Who's a better shooter than Steph?
Well, Joe Harris has shot better than him from 3, so is his brother Seth.
Joe Harris? You can't be serious.
Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA. It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey folks, coming right up, the Los Angeles Clippers taking the floor against the Bucks in Milwaukee. Well, for the Bucks, they come into every game with confidence, and this game is no different. 2 elite teams putting each other to the test. A lot on the line in this one. And we'll see Che, a fantastic talent out of Bay City. Kenny, a lot to like about his prospects going forward.
Well, you need to be able to do so much as a guard in this league these days. But Che does it all. Check it out. He creates, he scores, and he's a factor on D. What else do you need?
What more could you want?
Yeah, I play with some of the best guards in the game. They all possess the winner's mentality. I see that with Che. That's why his name is Cole Penny Wade.
Cole Penny Wade. Oh, all the guys that you played with.
Cole
that
Penny
were great.
Wade.
You combined the names.
And here were the Clippers arriving earlier, getting mentally prepared to go to work on the road. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. That's a look at our setting tonight, the picturesque city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning into 2K Sports. We've got some NBA action for you coming up. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines. D.A., take it away.
The Bucks took a massive leap in Coach Mike Budenholzer's first season in Milwaukee. Budenholzer said he joined the organization at the perfect time. The new facilities, the energetic fans, the great roster, ownership, front office, everything is set up to have great success. And he added, I feel fortunate to be the coach. Kevin?
The feeling, no doubt, mutual. Thanks, D.A. And a moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Middleton.
And maybe it's shocking, and maybe not too shocking, but the scoring trend over the last few years has been going down a bit. I'm sure it's something he's well aware of, and we'll see if that continues to be the case.
Here are the five for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Patrick Beverley. Then there's Harrell, and it's George in at the shooting guard position. And for the Bucks, Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. Bledsoe is out there with Jay, and it's Lopez in at the center, locking down the middle. A superstar summer, Greg, for the Los Angeles Clippers in Kawhi Leonard and in Paul George. Greg, they have two elite wings, great defenders in their prime.
Give them credit, but also Kawhi Leonard pushing the levers behind the scenes. He wanted another superstar to join him in recruiting Paul George, who still had 2 years left on his deal in OKC. Kawhi took unprecedented control of his free agent destiny.
Jay, defended by George. Jay, the pass to Giannis. 4 on the clock. The fadeaway goes back up. And the layup drops in from Jay. Jay's got his team on the board to start the game for the Bucks. And so Beverley will bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Pass to Leonard. That shot missing. Great D that time from Middleton. Pass to Jay. Beverley against Bledsoe. Up and in on the layup.
This guy's a big-time gamer. Eric Bledsoe, unstoppable.
And now just over a minute played here in the first. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Bledsoe. And it's the Clippers' ball. 4-point game. The three from George. It's hauled in by Giannis.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
From 11 feet away. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
And with each season, Antetokounmpo continues to polish up his post game. He's got such a nice high release on the shot, and at his size, virtually impossible to block him.
Now, here's Beverley. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Portland. Morris gets to Harrell. There's the pass to Leonard. Morris tried to free himself up. Leonard, no luck.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Here's Jay. It's deflected. Beverley with the ball. Now guarded by Antetokounmpo. Here's George. He can't get that one. And Milwaukee will come the other way.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They right now are searching for a bucket.
Shots good by Bledsoe.
Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
You know, they need to stay aggressive here. Build the lead up while they've got the chance. Don't waste this opportunity.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Blazers.
Yeah, for that loss, you can credit their defense, or lack thereof. Too many breakdowns on that end of the floor.
Yeah, and that's really inexcusable. I mean, there's just no way that you can justify that. When you don't put the work in on defense, you're going to end up on the losing end.
And that ends the struggle. You can feel the tensions in the building with each miss.
Oh, man, this thing was turning into a soccer game. A lot of action and not many points.
Antetokounmpo can't get it to go. Clippers trail by 6. Outside Leonard. Pass to Morris. From 12 feet out, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
The polished mid-range game of Morris. Some of his best shots come from about that 12 to 20-foot range.
Dives for it. Beverly feeling it out a bit. On the wing, George. Morris passes to Beverly. Back to Morris. 5 to shoot. On deep. Rebounded by Jay.
A shot like that is a polite way to say, hey, coach, bench me.
Hey, that's crazy there. I mean, insanity. At least wait until you get across half court. My goodness.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
Here's Bledsoe. Here's Antetokounmpo, and the layup's good off the glass. Giannis has got his third basket of the night right there.
And boy, have they come out strong, really pounding the offensive board for second chance points.
Ultra impressive, guys. Caught them off guard, and they've taken the momentum in this game now.
Right around the halfway mark, and some players starting to feel a little bit beat up, taking those bumps and bruises. Is it hard to decide which injuries to play through versus the ones that make you sit and miss a game?
You know, I don't think so. If you're a younger player, it may be a little more difficult, but as you spend time in the league, you know your body. You understand what's an ache and a pain and something you can play with, or an injury that really hampers you. So I think as you mature in the league, it becomes much easier to know what's an injury and what's something that you can work through.
That word tolerance becomes very important, doesn't it?
Yeah, and everybody's a little different in that regard, Kevin. Some guys have a high tolerance, others have a low or moderate. But again, it's about knowing your body.
Now, here's Beverly. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. And George, here we go. No good that time. Good D by Lopez. Bucks leading by 10. Jay, the pass to Lopez. Bucks passing it around. Jay, defended by George. Bledsoe outside. Trying to get open is Lopez. Offensive rebound. Antetokounmpo. Jay, defended by George. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, you know, what a season for the Bucks last year. Best record in the East, best record overall in the league. The team cruised during the regular season to win 60 games.
First free throw is good. Hey, Clark, those 60 wins for the Bucks, the most since 1980.
You know, start to finish, this team was a force. Had a great approach on both ends of the floor. Fun to watch. No glaring weaknesses, and a game plan that works for them. Future's bright there.
And the Clippers making a change here. Williams is checked in. Shot to stop the run. Yep, it counts.
Love the unselfishness of Beverly. I mean, when he sees his teammate wide open, he quickly gets him the ball.
Jay, he's guarded by Williams. Passes to Jay. Middleton for 3. And it's the Clippers with the rebound.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off. I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Bledsoe passes to Jay. Back to Bledsoe. It's hauled in by Beverly.
You know, it hasn't been his best outing, but they still find themselves in the driver's seat here.
The kick out to Williams. Launches a 3. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
The quick release. Let's just call him Sweet Lou, pumping it in from deep.
Outside to Bledsoe. And the pass to Jay. Back to Antetokounmpo. Milwaukee, no good that time either.
Kevin, you can understand the shot selection. I mean, he wanted to go back at him and just came up short on the triple.
Pass to Leonard. And here is Williams. Pass to Morris. Shot on the wing. The Clippers rebound.
Boy, he's got to be kicking himself. Shot. That's money.
And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Absolutely awesome to watch Antetokounmpo rise up for these throwdowns. I mean, it's really quite easy for him.
Now here's Beverly. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Shot's good by Bledsoe.
Off to a strong start here early. 6 points off second chance buckets.
Yeah, and you know what, Greg? You like their effort level here in the early going. I mean, they're really making things happen for themselves.
Here is Williams. Last game out, he had 14. Bledsoe passes to James from outside the arc. Rebound by Harold.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
And he moves so well. When Leonard drives the lane, it's pretty much a guaranteed bucket. Terrific body control, and he plays with the ultimate force.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Marcus Morris picks one up there. And a moment now to look at these. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Harrell kicks to Beverly. Passes it to George. And Middleton with the block.
Boy, the defensive hustle there by Middleton. Stretching out and getting his hand on that shot. Excellent effort.
Taking a look at Los Angeles. Marcus Morris is out there with Landry Shamet. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Patrick Beverly. And it's Harrell in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. You got PG. Beverly against Bledsoe. George dishes to Beverly. Here's Harrell. And that one hits back iron. Bucks leading by 13. In the corner, Middleton with it. And there's the pass to Jay. Right side, Williams. And Middleton kicks to Bledsoe. Shot clock at 6. Here's Jay. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
You know, Bledsoe has developed his passing skills to the point where you've got to respect that part of his game. He's doing a nice job finding his open guys.
So the Bucks, their last game, a win against the Pistons in Detroit.
Well, you look at the points they produced in that game. Great adjustments on the offensive end.
Well, it's really hard to stop them when they're in a groove offensively, and they were in a comfort zone all game long in that one.
Jay, covered by Morris. The shot's good from Jay.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Yeah, and it should help them increase their separation here. I mean, this has been an impressive offensive output.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys go.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
And, you know, when you're looking to close the gap, you need guys who will take it upon themselves to step up, take the initiative, and make something happen.
6 on the shot clock. Pass to Middleton. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Bledsoe for 3. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. At the conclusion of this game, they're off to Washington. They'll face the Wizards. And their road trip is only getting started as that's the second of 6 for them. Milwaukee leading by 15. Here's Jay. Morris with the rebound. And Jay gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. The Clippers' shooting is definitely lagging at the moment. They're just 30% in the second quarter.
And a breakthrough season for Marcus Morris in 2018 and 19. Career highs almost across the board. And teams have nights like this when the shots that usually drop just won't go down. That's when you have to rely on your defense, and that's the only way to stay in the game.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Older.
Well, Lou Williams won Sixth Man of the Year for the third time last season. He joined Kevin McHale and Detlef Schrempf as the only players to win the award in consecutive seasons. And with the most career points ever scored off the bench, maybe they should just name this award after him. Kevin?
David, I'm all for it. Thank you so much. And boy, is he in good company. You know, Greg, the Celtics are encouraging their players to take mental health just as seriously as their physical health. Marcus Morris brave enough to say that helped him a lot.
I mean, the Morris twins growing up in the hard streets of Philly, I mean, a lot to overcome, but by getting some help, that's exactly what Marcus is doing.
Antetokounmpo's checked in for the Bucks. George finds Beverly. Bounce pass, Harrell. That one, no good. Great D that time for Giannis.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
Jay, he's covered by Shamet. Jay, the pass to Lopez. Over Harrell. Pass to Jay to stop the drought. Tries again, and 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Marcus Morris picks one up there.
You know, really, when you look at Antetokounmpo, he's got it all. I mean, he can score it, rebound it, he passes it pretty well, defends with intensity, and he's really versatile and going to continue to get better because of his work ethic.
Leonard, he's checked in for Landry Shamet. That one is no good. We're seeing more and more young coaches in the NBA think this is a trend. Is it completely circumstantial? What's your view on it?
Well, I think you've got more younger coaches that are capable and able to coach. And the league is quite young, too. I think it's a current trend. But we've seen that before in decades past when it seems the wave of coaches are younger. I think it's more or less kind of the cycle of life that we see across a lot of different industries.
And he sinks the second.
And wow, you just have to love the motor on Montrezl Harrell when he's on the floor. Great on the glass, and he just plays with such a fire. And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on.
Out of bounds, Milwaukee takes possession. And he has been on another level this past month, getting Eastern Conference Player of the Month. Jay.
Basketball is one of the few sports where good offense beats good defense, and nobody has had better offense than him lately. I don't think there's anybody in the league that could have slowed him down on offense. He was unstoppable, to say the least.
Inside, Giannis passes to Lopez, and a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. And the Bucks lead by 15. And Los Angeles guys shooting under 40% all in all for the game. And with Harrell, you can see how his energy spreads to the rest of the team.
Reminds me a bit of what Fareed used to bring the team. Harrell is also undersized, but boy, he makes up for it in so many ways.
The Clippers have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. Free throw good for Morris.
And a guy who's bounced around the league a little. Surprising, given that Morris is a solid shooter and a pretty good defender and rebounder.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
With the Bucks, a team that will attack you from deep. The team is chock full of shooting.
Yeah, and you know, they shot the second most threes in the league last year, and that approach makes an awful lot of sense when you consider how good Giannis is driving the ball down the throat of the defense. He draws so much attention. Having shooters around him is the right way to go.
Here's George. Rebound by Brook Lopez.
He's been ice cold tonight. And, you know, you look at the scoreboard, guys, they really could have used this contribution.
Count that bucket. That's now 17 points for Giannis.
Man, he's got it going now. When he's in this kind of a zone, I think the D's happy to just get out of Antetokounmpo's way.
And here's George. 29 points for him last game against Portland.
And he caused major problems with his defense as well. He had 4 steals by the time the game was over.
And the wide open shot from Bledsoe. And another basket for Milwaukee.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive. And it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Trailing by 19. Lopez with the block.
Big Brook Lopez gobbling up space and getting the block on that play.
Jay the pass to Giannis for 3. It's holded by Beverly. Beverly's got his 4th rebound in this one. Leonard dishes to Beverly. Passes it to Morris. From deep. Doesn't go that time. Now the Bucks take it the other way. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one, and that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand. Middleton for 3. But they get it back. They'll double in with Arrow. Now the pass to Bledsoe. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
A different look for Milwaukee. Ilyasova comes in for Brook Lopez. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Eric Bledsoe. Knocked loose. Tries to keep it alive. And is out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession.
And that's just another mistake. I mean, they've got it.
With 1 on the clock. And so it's Milwaukee with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. The defensive work they've done against Paul George has been a big factor. He hasn't done anywhere near the kind of...
Thanks, Kevin. Chris, you guys were able to get the lead. What was the key to getting all those open shots?
It was just getting stops, getting a rebound, and getting out and pushing, finding lanes, finding open guys.
And you made the most of it, Chris. Thanks a lot. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime, so we'll be back in just a bit. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You look at Antetokounmpo, and this game has been everywhere.
Well, with a double-double in hand through 2 quarters, you can just imagine what his stat line will look like at the end of this one.
Yeah, he's got that locked-in look in his eyes tonight, and he's not going to start taking it easy. I think he's going to be going hard until that final whistle blows.
This is the 4 with Lopez the 5. Jay out there at Bledsoe, and it's Middleton in at the small forward. They're the group for Mike Budenholzer starting the second half. Leonard looking over the floor. And for Middleton, and Leonard gets it to go. Leonard's got 9.
Oh, it's not easy trying to guard Leonard inside. I can tell you that, guys. I mean, he's so good at using his body to get shots up over the defense.
Kicks to Antetokounmpo. Pass to Jay. Launches it. Rebound by Harrell. Harrell's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Here's Leonard. Milwaukee with the rebound. Antetokounmpo's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Jay, defended by George. Here's Jay. They get it back. Clippers trail by 18. Here's Leonard. And it's Leonard again missing.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. Here's Jay. Uses the gas to finish the layup. Jay's got 4 points this quarter. And when the score is as lopsided as it is, and you can see they smell blood in the water, my man is going for the jugular.
Well, he only plays one way, and that's full throttle, all day, all the time, cold-blooded and lethal.
And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
And the amount of space Antetokounmpo covers is really breathtaking. You got to see it to believe it. I mean, he erases shots that you think he has no chance to get to.
Here's Bledsoe. And the rejection by Leonard. And it's out of bounds. And they say it was last touched by Leonard. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Jay.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
To the middle. Outside for Bledsoe. From deep three-point range. The Bucks keep it going. A new 14-second clock. And he banks in the layup.
You can't leave a lane to the basket available for Beverly, because if you do, he jumps on it quickly.
Bucks leading by 18. Jay, the pass to Giannis. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. Now let's bring up the 2K leaderboard. Here are the top rebounders over the last month. Third is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He must be spending a lot of time in the weight room because he's shown such strength under the basket.
Clippers trail by 18. A shot by George, wide open. No good on the triple.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Goes up the baseline. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Leonard inside. Defended by Middleton. Count it. Good. 6 points for George.
I love the activity. George is not just a perimeter player, folks. You can depend on him down low, too.
And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
So good at getting to his spots and then cashing in, making the game look easy.
Got a piece of it. Here's Jay with the second effort. And Antetokounmpo lays it up and in. Antetokounmpo's got 21 in the game. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Bucks.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
They have, but you also can't overlook how well they defended the rim. As they challenged every shot, also gotten quite a few blocks as well.
Many thought the Raptors or Lakers would land Kawhi, but in the end, he came to the Clippers to write his own legacy. Returning to Southern Cal, where he grew up, was a big part of his decision. The big surprise was how Kawhi was out recruiting other stars behind the scenes to join him with the Clippers.
Here's George. The putback. It's good on the putback.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg. They've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Antetokounmpo with the bucket.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
And so Beverly will bring it up for Los Angeles. It's an 18-point game. Back to Harrell. Leonard with the ball. Outguarded by Giannis. Can't hit the free throw line jumper. Milwaukee's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Shots good by Bledsoe.
And I've been impressed with the unselfishness, but also getting guys the ball where they can do something with it.
He is delivering a lot of room service times tonight. One.
Clippers trail by 15, and the Clippers, looking who they've got, after going out there with Paul George. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then there's Harrell, and it's Morris in at the 3 slot. Pass to George. Gets the 14-footer to fall.
And this is one of George's main strengths, a phenomenal mid-range scorer.
Passes it to Lopez. Jay, defended by George. The pass to Hill. Clock at 4. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
You know, that's what you want out of your point guard. Hill is really doing a nice job getting the ball from side to side and not hesitating at all in doing it.
Upgrade the Clippers signing of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the grand finale of the wildest summer in NBA free agent history.
A ton of big moves. You think of the star players who've changed teams, 1/3 of the league's all-NBA selections, and 5 out of 10 of the reigning all-star starters. In the end, we saw 7 players who've changed teams, signing for over $100 million each. Put that in perspective, only 8 players have ever done that in league history.
In the corner, George with it, fires it up. Hill pulls it in.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Jay, defended by George. No bounds against George. Here's Jay. Offline with his 3. Clippers trail by 16. Over to the left wing. Beverly wide open. Off target with his 3. For Milwaukee, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the 4th quarter. The kick out to Hill. Middleton on the wing. Here's Jay. Good, and the assist goes to Middleton. And that's 19 points for Jay.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Now Harrell, outside, George. He kicks to Beverly. The Clippers need to get off a shot. Here's Morris, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And the Clippers making a change here. Leonard's checked in. Bucks leading by 18. Hill passes to Jay. He dishes it to Ilyasova. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. The shot's good. Jay's got 7 now in this quarter.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Outside, George. George, double team. Morris passes to Harrell. Here's George. Banked in off the glass. George has got 9 points here in the second half.
Wow, has he flipped the switch at halftime. Much more effective here in the second half.
Jay, the pass to Hill. Now the dish to Ilyasova. Out to the right wing. 6 to shoot. Jay. Paul George with the steal. And now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up. And the wide open shot from Morris. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got his 4th assist in this one. Jay, defended by George. Now here is Hill to the inside. 5 on the clock. Unable to get that one. Excellent D there from George. And here's Leonard from 3. Hits the 3-point bomb. Leonard's got 22 points.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
Middleton finds Ilyasova. Here's Jay, and the Bucks miss again. Clippers trail by 13. From deep, George, and another 3 for the Clippers.
And now they're turning this game into a drag race, spraying out for easy fast break basket.
Timeout called, the Bucks.
Well, the Bucks on offense look to swing things around and pick up the tempo as much as they can.
Well, you know, this team was 2nd in the league in pace. Want to get the ball down the floor and get an easy 3 or a transition chance. That was their game plan. This approach had them as the 4th best offense in the league last year.
And the Bucks making a change here. Antetokounmpo's checked in. Hill kicks to Antetokounmpo in the corner. Middleton with it. Here's Hill. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell.
Hill's experience on display there, doing a nice job handling the physical contact and drawing the foul.
Both free throws good from Hill.
Tell you what, George Hill is one of my favorite players to watch. A veteran point guard. He's bounced around a bit the last few seasons, but he gives you leadership, toughness, a cool demeanor, and he's one of the smartest players I've ever been around. Brings value to every team that he plays on.
The adjustments they've made offensively, they're putting guys in a position now to succeed.
It's certainly been an impressive run. They finally found the right formula to break down the defense.
And Jay gets the whistle that time. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. And with Hill, as you said, Clark, he's a perfect fit as a 2nd unit leader.
Yeah, I love the fact that George Hill really gives you everything you need in the backcourt. He's an excellent defender, makes really good decisions, can score the ball when you need him to. And he's ideal to come off the bench because he packed a lot of production into short playing stints.
Pass to George. 4 on the shot clock. From deep. The Clippers rebound. 2nd chance shot. And count it. The shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Eric Bledsoe's checking for George Hill.
Inflicting some punishment with the 2-hand flush.
And they're going for the throat.
Now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
Leonard attacking. Well, you knew that Kawhi Leonard would be a huge name in the free agency market last summer, especially after winning his 2nd Finals MVP.
And Kawhi let the pieces fall before making his decision. Was the last major free agent to choose where he was going to play. Ended up shaking up the NBA in the process by joining the Clippers.
Trying to get open is open. Here's Antetokounmpo, and they call the foul. So he's got the and 1 chance here to make it a 3-point play.
Well, he's demanding the ball. He wants it, and he's coming through. I mean, you can see why his teammates trust him down the stretch, guys.
And Clark, with Giannis, you could see the change in his demeanor last year. You know, he knew he was unguardable when he was on the floor.
Well, guys, you know you're special when you can say nobody can stop me, and the general consensus is you're right. I mean, I can't think of any player in the NBA that's really suited to guard Giannis with his blend of speed and strength and ball skills. That guy handles the ball exceptionally well for a big man.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Doc Rivers talking to the team. He said they played well in certain areas, but the lack of detail to the defensive boards has allowed their opponent too many second-chance opportunities. And that, he said, is the difference in this game. Have to get busy on the glass, Kevin.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yep, exactly. If there's any opportunity for early offense, you've got to push it and push it every time.
Bounce pass from Beverly. Here's Leonard. Money from the wing. Leonard's got 7 points for the quarter.
Boy, at the offensive end, his game is so impressive. I mean, he's a threat every time up the floor.
Down low, here's Young. Terrific assist, a nice finish, solid play all around. And so Beverly will bring it up for the Clippers, trailing by 13. George, no good. For Milwaukee, they've got more than 58% of their attempts to go down for them in the fourth quarter. They're 7 of 20.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that.
Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage nonetheless. I mean, it was only with one hand, but he still threw that down pretty hard.
Here's Morris. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Name some traits that make for a great team leader. You've been in that role. What did you like and embrace, and what have you seen from others?
Well, I think it starts with humility, a real sense of who you are and what your role is on the team as a leader, and then a really good example set. I think those qualities are essential. Humility speaks to selflessness, but also being one that holds yourself accountable to. Seems like he can't miss right now, guys. I mean, completely in the zone this quarter.
That free throw good from James. And the Clippers have possession. It's a 16-point game. Bledsoe against Williams. Excellent D there from Bledsoe.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
It's tipped. Ball's knocked loose. And out of bounds is Los Angeles Kings possession. Here's Williams. Harrell kicks to Williams. Harrell the pass to George. And he uses the glass on the layup. George has got 16 here in the second half.
Yeah, he's owning them on the offensive end, but, you know, he can't do it by himself.
Offensive rebound. Pass it to James. A lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell. That free throw, good from James. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Clippers trail by 15 to the paint. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Morris kicks to Harrell. Pass to George. Lock at 6. Lopez with the block. They get it back. Bucks leading by 15. Here's Jay. The shot comes out. Easy that time from Leonard. LA's gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the third quarter. And Morris throws it down.
Yeah, just aggressive there. Instead of going to one of his patented shots inside, Morris just simply rises up to be free.
It's Antetokounmpo on the wing. Middleton outside. Here's Jay. He feeds it to Lopez. The pass to Jay. Shoots. They grab their own miss. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Bucks.
This was a physical game.
Yeah, I mean, they were aware of the rotations defensively and were able to attack the rim.
And so they'll stretch their victory total to 19 on the season.
Boy, they have gotten their revenge here.
So no problem for Milwaukee as they get the win. It was a tale of two teams tonight. One that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that from their perspective.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. Hi, Dave.
Kevin, thanks very much. Another win for this team, Che, and your win streak is rolling. What do you guys have to do to keep it going?
You know, DA, we've just been playing for each other during this stretch, man. Everyone trusts each other right now. You know, from the starters to the bench. And I think we're all on the same page. Not much more to it, you know?
Well, your team looks fantastic right now, and good luck in the next one, guys.
All right, David, thank you.
Hey, your two-night girlfriend, Art here, and she's apparently like the president of your fan club, and I guess he's shy now because he wants me to introduce you to her, so here I am.
That's not you, let's do it.
Okay, great. Follow me.
Thank you.
Ready to do this? I'm ready. What's up, bro? You wanna? No, I'll we can get you on the market.
And welcome back to the show. We're joined now by Che, one of the top young players in the league. Che, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on some of the chatter around the league that you could be looking at an all-star selection this year?
You know, I'd love to be an all-star someday, but that's not what my focus is. Whatever coach needs me to do, I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities. And if awards and all that comes from it, great. If not, no big deal. I'd rather win a bunch of games than to be an all-star.
Yeah. Do you think you've done enough to be an all-star?
I don't know. Maybe. You know, that's a question for the fans, I guess. Like I said, if I'm an all-star, great. If not, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Well, great stuff as always, Che. Thanks so much for joining us.
No problemo.
All right, I think it's time to...
Thanks.
Time for one of my favorite segments, Home Team Power Ranking. What's that again, Hank? Yeah, glad you asked. In this segment, we rank performances from our hometown